Hey everybody. So quite a while ago, I was meant to do this video and completely forgot. Quite a while ago, not long after the channel started, somebody asked, what gear do I use? So I thought today we will go through all the gear that I use. So at the moment, I'm using a RST Blaze leather jacket. It is quite old. I did get this one used. I actually got it for free. It was my partner, Emma, who found it. It was somebody who she knows who was giving it away because one of his friends had a crash on a racetrack. Wasn't injured, thankfully, but it put him off riding and he was just giving away his gear. So when Emma saw that it was being given away and it was my size, she messaged a friend and said, you know, if you still got it and you still like giving it away, or you know, if it's a reasonable price, we'll have it. And he just gave it to us. He was just giving it away. So obviously the Blade, sorry, not Blaze. As you can see, it is sort of worn away. It is a little scuffed in places and sort of worn, but it is quite old. But in general, good condition. Now, it doesn't have the back protector in. I do need to get a back protector for it, for this jacket. So that's the jacket I use. So what pants do I use? So the pants, they are Hein Gerrickle. I have no idea how you pronounce that. I'm sure I've just butchered it completely. Again, these were free. Can't actually remember where I got these ones from. Not sure if they came with the jacket. They might have done. I can't remember. There is a paint stain on them. That was my doing. I brushed up against a bit of wet paint that I didn't realise was wet, and yeah, but it's only a bit of paint. The knee protectors, I have taken them out, and I take them out of every pair of pants that I get, purely because motorbike pants, every pair I've had, even short leg, they're still too long in the leg, and the knee ends up sort of halfway down my shin. With the knee armour in there, it digs into my shin and it's really uncomfortable. Fortunately, these are a lot thicker around the knee, even without the armour. So that's why I always take the armour out, because it's never comfortable. Nothing against any of the brands. It is purely thanks to my parents. They're both very short. I'm very short myself. I'm only 5'8", 5'7", 5'8". Depends on what time of day. And I've got really short legs. I think I've got I think it's like 28 inch or 29 inch inside leg. Quite short. Nothing I can do about it. I just have to adapt everything I use. So that's the pants that I use at the moment. I'm showing what I use first, and then I'm going to show my old gear that I've got as a backup now. So now let's have a look at my helmet. So this is the helmet that I use most of the time. It's a Spada. I don't think there's a model name on this, but this is the helmet that I use most often. So obviously there are a few little scuffs where I've sort of scrapped it against a wall. It's never been dropped though, never had any impact damage. It's just where I've sort of scrapped it at the side of a wall or something like that. It's still perfectly fine to wear. It does have a slider here for the internal drop-down visor, which I use quite a lot. I've installed a pin lock into this. Now I do need a new pin lock because this one has sort of given up the ghost now. It still works in the sense of it's, you know, it's anti-fog, but it's a little scuffed on the inside, just from over time. It's just a little scuffed on the inside on the pin lock, so I do need to get a new one of those. Obviously got vents on the chin, which are very good. We've got a vent up at the top and an exhaust vent around the back. Sorry guys. So my comm system, I am using a FODsport FX6. All the controls are done with this jog wheel. We've got the power button at the top, skip forward, skip back, play, pause, answer calls, reject calls. Underneath here, this is where the microphone and the speakers plugs in. And then in this behind here, if it'll focus, there we go, is the charging unit. It takes a micro USB. So this was, I got this before USB-C sort of became the main thing. So that's my comm unit. I've had this since, oh God, I've had this for like 3 years now, and I think I paid about £70 for it. It's on a clip, which sort of sandwiches in between over the outer casing. I've got my wire running in here. So this is is this the microphone for that? Yeah. Yes. So this is the microphone for my comm unit. The speakers, I don't know if this is going to pick it up or not, but the speakers are sort of hidden behind here. No, you can't see, unfortunately. But I've got two speakers in there, and the microphone for my comm unit, and that is brilliant. I've never had a problem with it. I charge it once a week and it lasts. Now I've never used it connecting it to another comm unit on rides out with friends. I have only ever used it connected to my phone for my music while I'm out and about riding. The last thing, obviously, is my camera. I am now using a Drift Ghost XL. I went for the Ghost XL because of the waterproofness and the fact that you can plug a microphone straight into it. It was £150. Now I did have some problem with it when I first got it, but I took it back to J&S at Northwich, where I bought it from, and they swapped it out no problem. There is a video on this issue that I had on my channel. If I remember, I'll put a link up here to it. So when I got the camera, when I was thinking of getting a new camera because the camera I had was rubbish, I was sort of debating whether to go for the Drift or whether to go for a GoPro. I went with the Drift because it was cheaper than the GoPro, less hassle than the GoPro, and the battery life was so much better. With this, I get about 8 hours, 7 or 8 hours of recording, and it's fantastic. I love the quality. I love the fact that it's completely waterproof. So the mount, it just literally clips in and pulls out like that. So this is the clip. You kind of undo this little screw and move this around to get the angle that you want. I went with this current setup. There we go. I went with this setup just because it's, for me, it's a little more secure. If I'm moving forward, it's being, with any wind against it, it's being pushed into the clip rather than being pushed out of the clip. So that's this helmet that I do use most of the time. Let's have a look at my other one. Okay, so this is my other helmet. This is kind of like it's my old helmet, but I still keep it as a backup. It's a LS2 helmet, and this is the LS2 Rapid. Yes, I put that sticker on there. People thought it was funny, so I left it on. It was trimmed down because it was a it was a COVID sticker. So again, we've got vent at the front, 2 vents up the top, and exhaust vent at the back. Got my mount for my camera. With this one, I have to go in from the top down. That's just the way I'd put it in. This doesn't have an internal visor, but it does have the pin lock in there. Again, could do with a new one. This helmet is absolutely filthy. It's got so many bug splatters all over it. But yeah, it is what it is. I know I've been lazy. I've not cleaned it. Again, I've got speakers in here to connect to my comm system, so I can just take the clip off and put the clip straight onto here, and then this plugs straight in. Again, there's the microphone for that. And that's that helmet. I do have a tinted visor that I'd put on this. Generally, I use this helmet in summer. It lets a bit more air through, and obviously with the tinted visor, that I just prefer that than the drop-down visor in the Spada helmet. Right, so that's my 2 helmets. What else? So, gloves. I currently use these Raven summer gloves. They've got decent knuckle protection. Nothing really on the fingers. On the inside, we do have a little bit of reinforcement here, and we do have Parma sliders on there as well. Now, I've had these for about, I think maybe about 8 months or so. They have worn through this bit here. That is purely from when I'm putting the gloves on and off. But great gloves, really comfortable, get plenty of feedback and feeling from those. And then I've got my balaclava. I wear this every time I go out riding. Every single time. I have cut it so that it fits a little better. But yeah, I wear this every single time I go out. To be honest now, my helmet doesn't feel right without this. It's fantastic at keeping the wind off your neck. I think I paid about £4 or something daft like that. It wasn't expensive at all. Amazing, amazing piece of kit. Don't know what I'd do without it, apart from being very cold and have a very stiff neck from the cold. Highly recommend, even if you don't want to put a balaclava on, some sort of neck warmer, definitely advise getting one. Okay. And now my boots. So I have a pair of RST Evolution Pros. Great boots. I've had these for about 3 years. I am ready for a new pair. As you can see, this is falling off here. They're scuffed at the front. This one lets water in now. This one's no longer waterproof. This one mostly is waterproof, but yeah, I'm definitely in the need for some new ones. The zips have broken, which is why I don't wear them often unless I'm wearing a pair of tight jeans that can fit over the top and keep the Velcro fastened. As you can see, the tag had fell off that one, so I put that on. They do have sort of these all around, which help keep the boot straight, keep your ankle straight. This one does have some damage at the bottom on there, but overall they've been good boots, and I think I paid 140 quid for them. Again, I got these from J&S, and I bought these on a whim. I'd gone for a general ride, got absolutely wet through, and needed some boots. So when I got there, I just bought these. But they've been fantastic. Okay, I did just have a look to see if I could find my old gear, but it's been put away, and it's an awful lot of effort to try and dig those out at the moment. If I can get them out at some point, I will do another video on my old equipment. But this is the bag that I use, and this bag is amazing. I've had this bag for, again, about 3 years. I think I paid about 45 quid for it on Amazon. So we've got a pocket at the front, and then this bit is for carrying a helmet. So you can either put your helmet in there, a second helmet. In fact, let's have a look what it looks like with a helmet in there. And there we go. Unfortunately, I do have to keep stopping my camera to record. I don't have a setup, I don't have a tripod or anything like that that I can put my phone in to show you. But literally just undoing these two clips, and it just sort of slides in. Got this bit just to set the chin, do the clips back up, and there we go. Let's just zoom out for you. That's what it looks like with the helmet in. And then we've got a big space on the inside. You can extend it. So around, where's the zip? Around here, you can see a zip. So this zip for here is to close it up, and then these two here are so you can extend or pull it back in and zip that up. I leave it at its biggest capacity. Very comfortable. Very practical, got a great big space on the inside. Sometimes it can be awkward going on and off once you've got a jacket on. It's not the easiest for sort of getting your arms through the loops. So I'll show you the straps. So these are the straps. You've got a clamp, a clasp up at the top, sort of that goes over your chest, and then there is another one. Where is it? There. Another one at the bottom that goes around your waist as well. So very secure, very comfortable. Highly recommend. It's a great bag. And lastly, we have a pair of high-vis overpants. I actually got these from when I was working as the car park steward. We was issued these, and these fit over my leathers. Absolutely fantastic. No protection in them other than the fact that you are going to be seen wearing high-vis, which is another reason why I wear light coloured helmets against my black leather jacket, just so I've got some contrast. You know, if I've got bright orange legs and then black on my torso and then a white helmet with orange on, it's very hard to be missed. Obviously, there are some people that are not going to see you, but that's just down to when people don't look. But that's a whole other topic. So yeah, the overpants that I use. Like I said, I can't get at my old equipment that I used to use, but they are very tatty now, very, very worn. I had an Oxford textile jacket, now gone for, obviously, the leather. It's just my preference now. I do prefer the leather jacket to a textile jacket. I think it's tighter fitting, but I prefer that. So I think that's everything. So I hope you've all enjoyed this video. This is the gear that I use on a regular basis. Now, just before I go, I will say what I think is the most important piece of equipment that I own, and what I think everybody should own and have. And I'm not talking about the helmet itself. That goes without saying. That is a 100% legal requirement to have your helmet. All your other gear is optional, but I recommend just wear the gear. I know in summer you could be hot, you could be sweating. Wear the gear. When I had my crash, as you'll probably see if you've watched the video, I had no gear on. I had a helmet, I had a pair of cycling gloves, which gave no protection whatsoever. I think the cat wants to come say hi. No. I had my boots on, I had a pair of jeans, I had a hoodie, cycling gloves, and my helmet. I did do a follow-up video after that, going back to the crash site and talking about the importance of gear. So if I remember, I will leave a link here. Go check that out. I made the massive mistake of not wearing the proper gear on that occasion, and I most definitely learned from it. But the piece of equipment that I think everybody should own is one of these. A camera. I'm not going to say, you know, get a drift. If you want to get a drift, get a drift. If you want to get a GoPro, get a GoPro. Even if you just want something cheap that you can just throw on your helmet, just so you've got something to record. even if it is just to prove that you weren't in the wrong if you have an accident. Just any kind of camera that is going to help you. Now, obviously, my old camera before I got this was a Amazon special, cheap piece of shit. It was about 30 quid, and it was rubbish. The picture quality wasn't great. The audio quality was even worse. Some of my earlier videos was recorded with that camera, and you will see just how bad it was. And that's why I decided I need a decent camera. I paid £150 for this. One thing I didn't show was the microphone. That's the microphone for the camera. And then that one is for the comm unit. Obviously, the microphone just plugs in under here. You do get this cable with your camera. I have cut a little channel out there for the cable to sit in, and then it literally just plugs in with a 3.5mm jack. Any microphone that's on a 3.5mm jack will work. That's not a problem. And then that just clips in. And like I say, I've cut out a little channel just for the wire to sit in. This is completely waterproof all up here. And you can move the camera around. It's very stiff. I'm not going to try moving it now because it is quite stiff, but you can see the little arrow. As long as you've got that at the top, you're fine. Right, guys, I think that's everything. Can't think of anything else that I use regularly or at all, really. Oh, there is one other thing I've just spotted, and that's this stuff. The visor anti-fog spray. Absolute crap. Absolute load of rubbish, that stuff. It works for a few minutes and then nothing. I paid about £5 for that little spray. You're supposed to spray it on the inside of your visor and then sort of let it dry and then dab it off, and it's shite. Don't waste your money on it. Get a pin lock. Most helmets these days do come pin lock ready. If they're not pin lock ready, you can get a kit that you can fit them yourself. Just be very careful because it does mean drilling your visor, and if you don't do it right, you will crack the visor. But if you can get one that's got the pins already in, then even better. And then it's just a case of finding the correct pin lock for the pin lock insert that goes on the inside of your visor. And it just acts as a bit of double glazing basically on your visor, stops it from fogging up in the winter when it's cold on the outside of your visor and your warm breath. I paid about £35 just for the insert. Worth every penny, most definitely. Right, guys, that's the gear I use. I think I've waffled on enough. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's been helpful for you. Take care of yourselves, and as always, ride safe. See you later, guys.